1, 2, 3.
We're rolling.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hey.
Episode 103
Trace. 103.
of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast, brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on or offline, website design, Google Ads, graphic design, printing.
SEOs.
We can help.
That's
SEOs. I love when somebody says that. And I'm like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about.
SEOs.
Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, bbdigitalmarketing.com.
That's right.
You can request a free review of your entire online presence right there on the homepage.
I told somebody, you're the only website I know besides like Google because I hear it so much that somebody was like, they're like, oh, you know marketing? I was like, yeah, bbdigitalmarketing.com. That's exactly the
Very
website.
Cool. Keep on doing it. We should give you a shirt. Oh, look.
Oh, mira esto.
My name is Milton Campus. I'm a brown belt training out of South Florida.
He sure
We
is.
got Bo behind the camera. Miguel riding shotgun.
What's up, guys?
Don't forget to like, comment, share, click that subscribe button on YouTube.
It's
We
a
really
huge
appreciate
honor.
the support. Joining us today is Talita Alencar.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know how to put the accent
She'll
on the
let you
Alencar.
know. She'll let you know.
Talita Alencar. How did you say to say it?
Alencar, I guess.
Alencar.
But I speak Spanish. I don't know if
That's
Portuguese
the Spanish way of
is
saying it. It's probably totally different.
completely.
We very much appreciate you coming on, Talita. We can't wait to talk to you in a few minutes. Quick shout outs.
What do we
Who
got?
do you want to do first? Flow and roll.
Throw
Thank you to Sean and his crew. Hands down, the best custom gi and no gi gear in the business.
Hands down.
We were just talking about the pre-orders and our next idea, which
Yeah.
we won't share. Now you're in on the secret.
Mysterious-
now you're in on the
Mysterious
secret.
Milton
The next one that we
is
want to tell.
back, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't believe us. Visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll. Even Sean's hearing that for the first time if he's listening.
Yeah.
They're like, what? There's another rash guard?
Yeah.
Check out their custom designs. They work with academies across the country. You will not find a better custom gi and no gi company to work with. Flowandroll.com, right? Get 20% off your order with code JJD. Now that's if you order t-shirts, skis, belts, anything from their website.
Yeah.
That's not 20% off of your custom order for your
The
gym.
bulk orders,
But
yeah.
you should be reaching out to them for your custom order. They have an incredible pre-order program.
Hit them up.
It lets you get your gear for your gym with a minimal investment. I'll let Sean explain it, but it's an awesome program. You should check it out. If you're a new business owner, a new gym owner, or you're somebody that's been around and you do not have $15,000 to lay out for the 100 gis or whatever you need for the year, reach out to Sean. He'll talk to you about how to get your equipment for very little money out of pocket.
That's right.
It's not a scam. It's not weird. It's a cool, legitimate way for him to help gyms across the country.
It's
get
just
their
a
gear.
good business model.
Yeah, it's an awesome business model.
He done figured it out, y'all.
Proper conscientious business.
He done.
We basically we did the pre-order for the Peace Love Jiu-Jitsu rash guard the same way he would do a gym's gis and no gis. I mean, it's the same.
I think the best way to say it is that some people figure stuff out better than other people, and this dude done figured it out.
Yeah, he
just
did.
check it out. That's it. It's that simple. We just happened to have gotten lucky enough
to meet him,
and it's great. It's absolutely great.
All right, let's move on. Thank you to the BJJ Box for all your support as well. Tony, incredible guy to work with. They are Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box.
Cats
delivered
love
to your
the
door.
box.
You get about 4 to 7 Jiu-Jitsu items like supplements, supplies, snacks. We get T-shirts every box.
New box for your cat.
Different, different. You can buy different levels. There are different boxes that you can buy.
Yep.
You can get a rash guard. You can get it quarterly. So check them out. Use code JJD10 to get $10 off your first order. Again, it's thedjjbox.com. What else can we say about it? Oh,
I don't know. Yeah,
This
BJJ Savage.
Schrodinger's BJJ box.
BJJ
Sausage.
Oh, nice.
BJJ Savage.
Oh, you are wearing it.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is from. Yeah, I got a shirt on underneath.
It looks
this
cool, though.
This is the shirt that we got in the last
The
BJJ
Punisher.
box. This is it. The BJJ box on it. So
Have you seen all
thank
the
you,
memes
Tony.
with that skull?
We appreciate it. What's that?
Have you seen all the memes with that skull? It's like that dead face.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Punisher.
the what is
Punisher.
it? Punisher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the best Punisher?
Which is the best
movie
Punisher?
or the Netflix? The movie or the Netflix show?
I'm just because I was a kid when the movie came out. The movie.
No.
I know.
Have you watched the whole.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you're. I know you're right. But I'm going like if you go like Miguel, what's faster, a 2021 Lamborghini Aventador or
You lost
a
me.
Maserati. I mean, not a Maserati, a Ferrari
You lost me.
Testarossa.
You
I'd be
lost
like, I choose a
Don't
Testarossa
know cars.
because I love it,
What's
not
that?
because it's fast. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Neutral Zone CBD. No matter if your aches and pains are coming from lifting weights at the gym, rolling on the mats, or just the daily grind of life, which is the main reason I use it, sitting at a desk all day hunched over. Neutral Zone has a product for you. Find your Neutral Zone by finding the best product for your pain wellness so you can continue your active lifestyle.
Yo, that roller's been crushing it in my life.
What's that?
The Neutral Zone roller.
The roll-on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I
So
break- did I
I don't know if you've noticed this, but like this guy named, have you heard of Gordon Ryan?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so he's been doing like a lot of this smother tapping stuff. And
Look, when
yeah.
Not lying.
You ever been smother
said-
tapped, sir?
No,
The Gordon Ryan style smother tap?
No, but I do the Abu Ghraib.
Dude, that makes it look like Candyland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why? How do you know? Just you're seeing it. But
Well, I've been under
you've been
you.
smothered by me
No, you don't smother tap.
Oh.
No, Gordon Ryan style smother tapping
from the top.
from the top with like that neck crank on the
Yeah.
back of your neck, and then
Yeah.
having like, dude, it is tremendous
I do the,
amounts of pressure, even from people who aren't that strong.
I can. I do the north. I love the north south. You know that.
You should do smother tapping.
So I've also do the Abu Ghraib is really when my
I understand.
my belly's on the face.
I've been there.
with a nice wet rash. Yeah,
I've been there.
I can I can't even just I can get somebody's
Yeah.
face 'cause somebody's going like this from side to side
Yeah.
as you're trying to smother them, and I can get the head and catch it and then just straight nose, and then
Yeah.
they can't move their face side to
Yeah.
side anymore. Yeah, that's the true Abu Ghraib.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, now-
that's the one that I think Junior actually named.
While breaking their neck from the back.
No, I'm kind
Is-
of more on the
Yeah.
on,
Now
over,
if you
the body.
embrace the break the neck part, find your neutral zone at
that makes me sound like
at
such a bully too, right?
neutralzone.com. Use promo code JJD for 20% off. From all your,
25%
25
off. 25% off at neutralzone.
An extra 5% for that neck.
Sorry, Mike. That's what I get for letting Miguel do part of the shout out.
He didn't even give it to me. I was just kind of running with it.
All
my,
right.
neck, my neck hurts. My neck hurts.
All right, let's jump right in. Let's get Talita in here.
Let's do it.
Welcome, Talita. How are you?
I'm outstanding in you.
We're doing good. We're doing good. You can hear us fine. We can
Yeah.
hear you, right? We're good.
We're all set.
Perfect. Yeah.
Now we're Mac pros.
There we go.
We're Beats pros, headset pros now.
We're certified.
All right.
Welcome to new generation.
Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. I know you have a really busy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive right in. Where are you training right now? Where are you?
I'm curl. Go ahead.
No.
Sorry.
Where are you? I know you're in South Florida. You're in Florida, but where are you now?
I am in America top team right now, the headquarters.
Okay.
And I'm currently doing the same thing I do triathlon, jiu-jitsu, spending full time and full sacrifice towards MMA.
Very good. Congratulations.
Living the lifestyle.
Thank you.
So
I wish it was all true. It's all social media.
No.
you got to work for it, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
100%.
The prize comes at the end there.
Being an athlete is a
100%.
hard life.
You are, or is it 3-0? 3-0 in Titan?
3-0 MMA,
3-0 in
yeah.
Titan.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the your post from the last one. You got, there was a nice throw. She got a nice throw, and then you wound
Yeah.
up mounting and finishing her.
Yes, 100%.
How different does that feel versus when you competed in jiu-jitsu?
I mean, when I competed jiu-jitsu, it was by stage, there's a point that I was doing just because I have a lot of heart and I didn't have as much technique, but because I have so much heart, it makes me have exciting math, but at the same time, I was making a lot of mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and then comes a middle term of my career that I'm more overthinking, and I'm thinking more and studying my opponents and becoming a real professional. And that's when I started to traveling the world and creating more opportunity towards my career. I never really planned to be a world champion, but I came from triathlon and etc. So and just made me a great competitor, you know. But man, MMA is just like a crazy infinite word, like of like backgrounds, you know, because I don't only have wrestling and kickboxing and boxing. I have like taekwondo, I have like sambo. I have so much to put it together that's like over-rounding. And I mean, not saying that jiu-jitsu is not challenging, because it's based on generations, you know, like you see warm guard and like a lapel and all these things now. But it doesn't mean that you don't see this MMA. It's like just changing by generation and renovations and people that are coming, you know, like talent people, hard work people, that it's just such a crazy word when you think it's so complex and think of, you know what I mean?
You've mentioned a few disciplines in there. How long did you do Taekwondo? Or is that
I didn't do Taekwondo. Like what I'm saying, like if I'm gonna fight MMA and I'm gonna fight against somebody, and I'm gonna be very like careful, like whatever opponents I'm gonna choose. And even though if I do fight against a world champion Taekwondo or a world champion kickboxing or Muay Thai, or you know what I mean, I'm gonna have you study. And the difference is like you do have a team when you fight jiu-jitsu, but you don't have a team like you have a team MMA. You don't have a management. You don't have people that really like are heavily take your back. You know what I mean? I don't respond for myself anymore. Like I feel like I have like a bunch of daddies and mom that I have to respond, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing this. Oh no, you can't do this. Like I don't agree with like. Before I used to
is there a head coach for all
there
your
is a head coach, there is a boxing coach. They all work together, you know, but I have a boxing coach, I have an MMA coach, I have a jiu-jitsu MMA coach, you know.
Who writes your program?
Yeah, we all, like in ATT, we all have a schedule, and when you in camp, you have prioritized training, but I thank God I'm a professional already in jiu-jitsu and another sport. And I have my own garage gym, you know, like I do my homework here, and I repeat this with my students, and I just perfect it, you know. And I'm specializing in self-defense in general, and just makes me even better at this, you know.
So is you say you're training at American Top Team, all of your training is there now? Do you go to other gyms and still practice, or is it like no? I mean, obviously you're a jiu-jitsu pro, but your boxing, your wrestling, your everything is happening there at American Top Team now.
Yes, everything happens in there, but I do most of my private training home because I don't want to share all my secrets.
Yeah.
Just for my jiu-jitsu, like what's it called? I forgot right now. Like just to share techniques online to sell. I forgot the name.
Oh, BJJ Fanatics?
Like BJJ Fanatics. I'm only going to share paid secrets now.
Yeah, masterclass. So what's really interesting is so we've talked to several MMA people. I'm a huge MMA fan. I'm more of a behind the scenes MMA fan. So like stuff like what you're saying, like you have, you know, a head coach with all these other coaches, you're in-house, you're in a mega gym, you know, Dan Lambert's giant franchise, and you're at the headquarters of it, so that means you get everybody there. And
yes, man, it's crazy.
But it's also weird because it's how good you perform. There's people that are there that are new, and they don't get as much attention as you do, and you kind of have to earn that. There's competition within. And
100%. Like ATT is not just a business towards fighting; it's a university. You know. There is a lot of, before going there, like actually, if I'm going back down the story, Talita Alencar with ATT, I was supposed to be in ATT like 5 years ago when I actually really decided to do MMA. But the circumstance didn't let me go there because I was somebody that I let what people say influence me towards my MMA career. But I think the decision that I take in the past, it helped me financially and maybe to build a business for me and a name here in Florida. That's what I need, but not towards to ATT. And however, made me build other types of relationship with the right people inside ATT. And for me, I did lose some time, but it was what I need because I have to develop my MMA to go inside the cage because ATT is a cage. You know what I mean? Like for a pro fighter, it's a cage because you go there or to be somebody's body or people be body for you. And I told myself, I'm not going to be anybody's bodies anymore because I got fucked up too much in jiu-jitsu and I'm not ready to be theirs anymore. So I'd rather to develop my MMA in another small gym. And until I'm ready to go to a big team and get the pressure that I have to, I will. And everything was in benefit. And I made the best, in my 3 MMA fights, I made the best relationship that I ever could inside ATT. And it was just the perfect time to join ATT. You know what I mean?
That's great. Yeah.
So you're saying you didn't want to be somebody's training partner, just the sparring partner that they bring in for the pro. You wanted to be the pro. Like bring them in for me.
She wanted to come in a shark.
Yeah.
Instead of
I don't mind, because example, inside ATT, now there's a bunch of Olympic judo. There's a bunch of good wrestlers, good Brazilian jiu-jitsu and everything. I want to just be equally like them because when I have my camps, I will have equally attention. I didn't want to be somebody that see me like, oh, Talita is very stubborn or like very like spicy and like I don't like to train with her. I like to be somebody that even if it's just jiu-jitsu or it's a great partner, but either both ways because I know I have to be selfish towards my camp. But if I'm not in camp, I don't mind to help anybody. But I am not going to be a punching bag of nobody.
Do you ever
just
pull up?
Enough to...
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
That's okay. Just enough to make me tough.
So
that's good.
Is there ever a time, like sometimes I'll pull up to the gym, especially like on the weekend, and we do open mats. We have a lot of people come from other gyms. Sometimes I pull up and I see somebody's car or I see somebody and I'm like, this is going to be a tough training day. This is going to be tough today. Does that ever happen to you? I mean, on your level, on that level, does that ever happen to you where you pull up and you're like, oh shit, this is going to be a tough day?
Not really because
that's when they see her car.
They see your car, right? They see your car and they're like, oh,
I'm very competitive and like there is people inside the gym, every gym that I've been that I stay long or short term that when I see it, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get my ass beat or I'm going to survive today. And one thing that I learned towards my competition back and forth, like winning awards or getting second place and like very polemic matches that I had that people know me because of them. It was a mental thing because I took otherwise, but those things taught me to be who I am. So I channel negative things to good things. Okay. So like now there's like there's a girl in the gym that she's Olympic judo. I'll share a profile after with you guys. She's the toughest trainer that I had there.
Yeah.
I love when she looked at me. She's like, let's go. I was like, yes, please kick my butt.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I was like, I like, if I'm able to do anything against her and be successful, I'll do anyone. Mm-hmm. And I know in the pro level, a detail change everything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you do any sort of foot sweep, I know who you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If I judo throw her, I'm like,
so that's your Everest. You know what I mean? So everybody else is just going to be like a foothill in North Carolina. It's not. Exactly. It's not going to be. It's going to be a hike.
Yeah, I'm not a judo Olympic girl. You know what I mean? If I'm able to control a judo that she have 20 seconds to keep her back on the floor and I keep her down, I'm going to be like, fuck, I have great performance, but it's not enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're training judo, like, are you actually training judo with her and it's judo rules, or is it you're doing your jiu-jitsu and you're up against this judo pro?
Or are we wrestling, or are we doing jiu-jitsu, or are we doing MMA, or we specific train, and so or it's like 30% or it's 100%. Or sparring, like real crazy sparring, you know what I mean? Like survive or get killed.
Yep. It's different, man. Like I've had the pleasure of like rolling with people that do MMA, and I've also rolled like where there's a wall. It's like everything changes. It's almost like, when you get a brand new white belt and you could do whatever you want to them because jiu-jitsu and they just see red, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's like when somebody's an Olympic level judo player, and you know maybe how to drool on yourself in terms of judo. When you roll with them, you literally, so it doesn't matter that it's MMA rules. Good luck getting a punch when her top of her head's under your chin and she's got you under the hips. And what are you going to do?
She's a fucking headlock on you. Like, and she cannot let it go to your neck and like feel that your whole spine going to crack, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question. Going back, you said something before. You mentioned BJJ Fanatics, and it made me think of this. So what weight are you fighting at now?
It's really close by my jiu-jitsu weight. Like I used to like mix it up. Like when I was like lazy and I didn't want to like lose weight, I fight 125 and a nogi and 130, and I always like podium and everything. But 118 it was my weight, and MMA is 115, so it's not a big deal. It's not hard. Yeah, it's not hard. It's like I just keep myself in shape, and I don't go like mentally toughness in the weight cut because it's sort of something that I did forever, you know.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'1".
5'1".
It's all public information, by the way. This is like the only place you get to do this.
There's a place. Yeah. So I'm asking you because I know that you're small. BJJ Fanatics has you under your bio 5 feet 7 inches.
What?
I figured that it was a typo.
It's a lie.
I saved it on my phone. Did I leave it open? I didn't leave it open here.
That's hilarious.
Thank you, BJJ Fanatics.
I looked at it a bunch of times, and I don't know. Like it says like 170 centimeters. I don't know if that's right. Like we don't do what is it centimeters? We don't do that here, right? Like in the U.S. So it's still.
Yeah.
So I looked at.
It's just the rest of the world.
I had to look at it a bunch of times, and I'm like, am I looking at it wrong? No, it says 5.
No.
Look back. Look at your bio. On BJJ
I
Fanatics,
will
it says 5'7".
Let's not. Do you want us not to say nothing? We won't say nothing.
I think I even know why. Maybe they confuse 1 with 7.
Yeah, it's
but
just a
I'm
typo.
never 5'7". No way. I have to born again.
There's some girl out there was offered a fight with you that looked at your bio and said 130 and then 5'7". That's crazy. You know. But yeah,
that's crazy.
Look at your bio when you get a chance, and you'll see I think it's funny.
I'll definitely look. I never really had to pay attention to this. Thank you.
I was saying funny. More like I felt like this is probably one of the only environments where you have a lady and you're just like, how old are you? How much do you weigh? How tall are you?
Yeah, it's like a big no.
Yeah, no, I like most of ladies, they get like over rounding or like I don't know why they don't like to share the age. I don't really care, you know. Like I mean,
well, if I Google you, it's the first thing that pops up.
Yeah, I think in this,
exactly.
You're doing this, and then your
public
age,
information.
Weight, yeah.
In this context, in this forum, it's okay to ask a lady.
How cool would it be if you could just Google your friends?
I don't really care.
Can we see those arms again?
I wish we had like a Facebook, but it was just that. It was a Facebook, but the only thing is your current weight, height, you know, the last time you want to fight. I don't care if it's a street fight or whatever. Like, what's your street record?
Let's do it.
Like, yeah, just like
Throw
a Facebook.
Me some money.
That's it. It's just one picture. It's just your baseball card.
That's going to be a great picture that you flexing. Cause he's taking a picture of you on. You'll see it. I'll post it today or tomorrow.
I tricked you into
on
doing
this
it.
digital. You're on this digital thing where he took a picture of that. Of you doing that, so it's gonna look cool. You'll see what I mean when I'll post it. I always thank the guest either later that night, depending on when we end, or the next day. I'll use that picture of you on the podcast.
I should have done the trick I did like in 6th grade. You remember pushing up your bicep for your friends?
Yeah.
I still do that.
Yeah.
Except
I do that to my
real.
I do that to my wife all the time. I'm like, look, I work out during lunch.
Those are real. I was
Hers are
You
real.
see those guns here?
Yeah. Do you have a permit for those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, and they're very.
It's a license.
Let's go back to the beginning of jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu was your first martial art, right?
How many moons ago?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu was my first martial arts, but it wasn't my first sport.
No. Tell us about how you got your start in jiu-jitsu, and tell us about your first sport. What was your first sport?
I started swimming at 4 years old because I only have brothers. I have 3 brothers, and they predestined to be very tall, and I was the only short one in the family.
They took it
And
all.
then my mom, yeah. And it's funny because my parents are like maybe 5'3", 5'5" the most.
Wow.
And I'm the only one that's 5'1", but my two brothers are huge, like my grandpa, and they really tall. And I'm like, the fuck happened to me?
Yeah, they took it all.
And my mom, okay, you're going to swimming class because they say that's going to help you to disinvolve better and to grow. And I don't think in Brazil back in the day, because I'm from 90s, we have the hormone grow, I didn't have the opportunity to be growing so much. Thank God. So from 4 years old, maybe a few years back, I did a transition to triathlon. In the city that I was raised, there was a project from the government that was taking kids from the streets to do a free triathlon. So the government offered like swims and like running and bicycles, everything, and they had like callers from each like district in the city.
Okay.
That did triathlon.
City
And
team.
on Saturdays and Sunday we meet and we have like small competitions against each other, and it was very fun. I did this in the middle of days. I did this for about 7 years. In the middle of days, I got in love with jiu-jitsu because I was already like kind of teenage, like 10 years old, and I was like already flirting with this age. I met a boy that used to do jiu-jitsu, and he kind of like got me into this. I just got to know jiu-jitsu because he trained jiu-jitsu. But what got me into jiu-jitsu reality was because my daddy was like kind of abusive with my mom a little bit. He used to drink and be a womanizer. There's no trauma based on this. It's just like very regular in Latin America men's,
Hey, wait a minute. What?
We're not in America.
But it's not being a stereotype.
I'm
Not being a
American.
stereotype.
We're Americanized, right? We say that.
I
We're
know.
Americanized. I was born here. He was born in Colombia.
Yeah, I was
and
born
moved
in
here.
Colombia. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but it's not really a stereotype, but there is
It
a lot
is.
of it.
I grew
But-
up in a,
here,
I grew up in a
let me
house
blow
full of
up a
women.
whole island. Like my wife, my wife is from Ecuador, and she had a she Dominican. No Dominicans ever. She
So,
tells
right.
No, yes.
she tells her
Great.
daughter, she's like, you could date anyone in the world.
Yeah. And you're only blowing
Anyone.
up. You're only blowing up
White,
half an
black, no Dominicans.
Yeah. I wouldn't know,
But
bro.
it's not. It's just the way that
It's a different culture.
The society teach. Yeah, the society teach how to be a woman. Has to go to the kitchen. Has to take care of the house. This. I'm not trying to be a feminist. I'm a very fair person because I do a male sport. And I need to be fair when it comes to those things. But unfortunately, it's much reality back in the day. But now times are different, and I don't live in Brazil anymore. I don't have so much the Brazilian culture in me so much anymore. Yeah, of course, then when I go there, I know how things works and etc. But I live in America and I had to adjust with the culture here. And I love to have like dual citizenship,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have
But it was-
you have dual citizenship now?
Yeah.
Congrats. That's
wow.
awesome.
Free pass, baby.
Yeah, so what got me really like into to leave triathlon to jiu-jitsu, it was just the age, like I was like being a teenage hormone, and I was like rebel. I was bad, a bad kid, really bad. Like I used to fight all the time. And every time I fight in the street, my mom grabbed me from my hand. She slapped a shit out of me. It's like
Really?
I got so much spank, like all the types you can think of. Like I got so grounded, like so much, and I always was like a tomboy, like my brothers used to go to the beach at the end of the day and do like just street fight, and I used to do with them. I was like, this shit like this. I
were born for
fucking
this.
love
Yeah.
it.
All overhand.
Yeah, I was born for this. And so I believe my childhood translate a lot in my competition skills, and like why I choose fight to be like who I am. I think it helped a lot. But back in the day, I was doing like I was swimming in the university. I was doing jiu-jitsu at night. the swimming helped me to keep a scholarship in law school, you know, and I was doing too many things as I grow as an adult, you know.
You sound like a champion. Like now you speak like a champion.
Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummy sent you. Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit neutralzonecbd.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at thebjjbox. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Did you fall in love with jiu-jitsu right away? I mean, anybody who's taken it to your level, I know the answer is always yes. But how did you feel about jiu-jitsu when you first started? Was it like, I love this and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life? Or was it like, what am I doing?
I'm
this
here
is
because
crazy.
the boy I like.
Yeah, because
I'm the type of person that they're very driving by a good challenging, and everything that feels that I can't do it, I feel like it releases like crazy hormone in my head, and I'm like, I'm not incapable to do this. I'm gonna fucking do it, and I will do well. And I have this thing coming, and I have a really strong mindset towards things, you know, like I know I have a really strong personality, and I think that was always very challenging for me. Everything that's challenging, and every time I do bad about something and I know I have the potential to do better, this keeps me, you know. But like I said, I did not ever plan to be a world champion. I never really planned this like, okay, the day that I got to know jiu-jitsu, I want to be a world champion. My journey threw me in this direction, and I knew it was going to be towards competition, but I never knew that it would be fighting. But for sure, fighting is the most challenging in my life.
When did you come to the U.S.? At what age?
I think I was 20, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. And did your competition success in jiu-jitsu start here, or were you making a name for yourself in Brazil?
I was already making a name in Brazil. I moved to many cities in Brazil. I was born in a city. I got raised in another city. I was born in Maranhão. I was raised in Fortaleza, that's north of Brazil. And I went to Rio de Janeiro to live from jiu-jitsu. I left law school. I left everyone, my family, like good life. And I went to live by myself in a little small room, sleep in the gym when I could, and like saving money from food to pay like a bus to go to Mayor and train a JF team, you know. I did like pass a lot of necessities a lot, and I never forget. It's like fresh just talking about. But everything was really like worth it, you know.
Yeah. What type of law were you going to practice? Did you know what you wanted to do?
What do you mean?
Law.
Sorry.
You said you were going to law school. You said, right?
Oh yeah, I wanted to do criminal.
Criminal law.
I wanna, yeah, because law it's the same kind of in Brazil and the United States. You gotta have to get a degree, like a bachelor, right? And then you have to pass in Brazil called OAB. It's like
The bar.
the bar.
Here they call it the bar,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. But the reality was go back towards my family. Like my mom never had an opportunity to have a degree, and her dream was like me and my brothers have a good life and at least like have a good school. I was the one that started like being towards like sport competition, and then my older brother followed. When I did triathlon, after a few years, my older brother started to do as well. And thank God, like I got my both brothers into jiu-jitsu a little bit, but it's not like their thing, you know, they like lifting stuff. But yeah, it's like sports has always been my life, you know. I really love what I do, pretty much.
At what point did your mindset change from BJJ, I'm a world champ? What clicked that made you want to go into MMA?
I mean, like, besides all people always telling my entire career, saying like, hey, you have a really aggressive style, the honey badger, like the Tasman devil, like I don't know how many nicknames I have, you know, like, why don't you do MMA? You're gonna do so fine. And I'm like, I don't want to get punched in the face. It was the same thing I used to say about jiu-jitsu, like in the beginning, like right in the beginning. Oh, all the sweaty people, I don't want this. Nah, not for me. But it just totally changed my life. What's the point? Besides all people telling me that I had the perfect style for MMA, I'm the type of person that I'm never satisfied with anything I do. Even like I do good or bad in the training, I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna do my journal and I'm like, what do I need to get better at? You know? And I'm like, I'm gonna go to my garage and just to stretch and think of like what I can add on my journal besides all the 3 trains and 4-6 hours of training that I had today. And I mean, I just need a new challenge, you know, like I became world champion and my second year, I was supposed to be a world champion again, but I have a really polemic match with ex-opponent from GFT, and I let the mindset of the crowd fuck my head. And I supposed to be like 3 times gi world champion. I pay based on my mindset, that it changed like right after. And I became no-gi world champion many times. I also did not plan. I was like, I'm gonna compete and let's see if I'm gonna win, you know. And definitely a big part of my mental set was my coach, Teodoro Canal in Brazil, and that's my forever coach, never gonna change. It's gonna be my
forever
coach that gave
like that.
yeah, my forever coach that gave me my black belt, and is always present in my career no matter what, even being there in Brazil, you know. But I just needed a new challenge, and I said like, okay, if I was able to write history in jiu-jitsu, why I cannot do MMA? I watched those, with all the respect, I watched those MMA girls fighting, and I'm like, what the fuck? I could have won this match already, you know. Yeah. Like sometimes you compare yourself and things that and your thoughts and the way you build your mind make stuff come true. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's how I believe now that I can do anything and I would be successful.
Yeah.
In my mind, if I saw you watching an MMA fight right there on the TV in your living room, I would guess that if you're watching a girl's fight, you're not sitting down. I picture you like getting up, getting all excited, or you like Is that the?
It depends. There's my favorites and there's less favorites. There's some fights that are boring, and I'm like, I'm just gonna be on my phone. Fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be very long. Like jiu-jitsu, it can be 15, 25, but there's a lot of matches that I can guess. And because I also had a bunch of like maybe 6 or 7 referee like course, kind of like transition a little bit to MMA. I don't know as much as boxing. I'm getting to understand everything every day a little bit, But yeah, there's matches that I'm on my feet and I'm like, like screaming. I have a 75-inch TV. Like when I'm watching MMA, I'm like, I can be further away, but I feel that I'm inside of the TV.
Yeah.
But
it's almost your size.
Oh, it's bigger than me, like bigger than me, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's funny, like there is matches that I get very excited. Usually Brazilians or like my favorites, like in general. But I have like 2 cameras on my living room. There's one over there and the other one right here. And I remember that the 2 fights that were very remarkable, 2 MMA fights, like big UFC, and was the one that Charles Oliveira fought before he lost this time. They choked Justin Gates, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And there's one, like I had so many people in my living room and I was like, jiu-jitsu saved my life. Yeah. And like everyone jumped like, and the other one was the Chinese girl with the last one. Yeah.
Whaley,
yeah, but I already knew that she was way
beat
more
the Cookie
rounded.
Monster.
Like,
yeah.
Everybody
knew that one. It was like, I think it was like plus 1,100 if you bet on Cookie Monster to win.
Yeah.
Like you bet $100 and you win $1,100. Yeah. That's how you know.
Yeah, imagine if I had $1 million in my bank account, I would double this money.
Yeah, double it. No, you'd 1,100 it.
Yeah.
You'd be
Times
a billion.
11.
You'd have $1.1 billion.
Exactly.
Do you get to train with some like you're just getting? I don't want to say just getting, but okay, you're fighting in Titan. Do you come? Are you like sparring with like Joanna? Is she still training at ATT? Like, are you getting training in with high level people like that?
I mean, I do train with high level people, but thank God, the only thing that I felt that I was not getting trained in other gyms that I train, it's the bodies. I really need like 125 as far as 130 sometimes, to 115 bodies to train, to develop or to like bodies in general. I do not train with Johanna. I barely see her in ATT maybe 3 or 4 times. When I joined ATT, she was already retired from UFC from her last fight. She does still train, but she's back for traveling, being a star right now. I was present one of her trains, but she never looked at me to train.
Yeah.
I mean, she trains with the girls that I train, and as far as grappling, she's fine defending like wall and etc. If she would add some like chain wrestling and grounding pound, like when you get pressure on the cage, like you throw elbows and etc., it would be a game change, of course, for her. But as far as jiu-jitsu, I think I could fully dominate in this aspect, Now, 100%, because I see like the girls that they train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not cocky at all, but I'm telling you, I see a lot of things. But I mean, when you put everything together, it's different,
I have.
As far as grappling exchange.
Earlier, you said when you were doing jiu-jitsu and you would watch MMA, you'd be like, I could have 100. If I got the fight there, it would have been over in 2 seconds, right? You said that. But there's a really big difference between jiu-jitsu and MMA, and I just want to hear your opinion on it. In jiu-jitsu, you see a really competitive high-level person. I'm not even going to say belt, just high-level person. You see it, and you're like, there is a 100% chance I'm going to lose with my current skill set, cardio, whatever. In MMA, there is a puncher's chance that there isn't in jiu-jitsu. And I think that's the big key difference. Do you feel the same way?
100%. I fully agree with you. It can change a lot. And the best example days, with all the respect, is Rodolfo Vieira. And you guys see it, like there is very good performance of him, and there was some performance that we expect more of him, but it's part of the sport, you know. I was also Rodolfo teammates, and I like to acknowledge a lot of jiu-jitsu people background that came from MMA experience in the cage. It's very important to keep your saddle in the ground these days. But I mean, when you decide to do MMA, you gotta to spar, you got to get punch, you gotta to like feel the punch. You can't procrastinate. You can't go to the gym a sparring day and say, oh, I'm gonna choose my train. You cannot choose your train. You need to face whatever you, when you change a partner, you look into the side, whatever partner finds that's based on your weight, you gotta choose spar, you know. You can't like be there if you're not in camp, of course. You can't be there. It's like, I'm not sparring today, I'm just gonna do cardio. No, like, I mean, like, as much you practice something, you get better at it, and you need to feel comfortable getting punched.
This sounds like school.
Yeah, it is. It's just muscle memory, bro. It doesn't change from the sport to sport. And of course, there's my biggest challenge in the beginning was like to translate everything together. And like, if you guys watch, my first fight was or striking or clinch or chain wrestling in ground and pound. And when you are able to translate everything together, you are able to head position, boxing, move, fake, and transition to your grounding pound, to your punch, to the 4 range, safe range, kickbox range, meter range, and jiu-jitsu range. You know what I mean? Close range. So like, it's really complex to talk about this, but I fully agree with you. But or you procrastinate and you want to do a safe train, or you put your face to get punched and you learn the worst way.
You're making that lucky chance smaller and smaller the more well-rounded you are, because you're prepared.
Yes, because exactly.
You're taking luck out of the equation the better you get. There's no more specialist in at a high level, like top 10, any organization anymore. Even in jiu-jitsu. I think in jiu-jitsu right now, ton of judo people, ton of people who have done other martial arts growing up, other sports.
Yeah. I mean, the sport, we say a lot of times, like, it's mixed martial arts, we get that. But these younger people that are coming up have been training everything since they were kids. Yeah. You know, look at like Art in Motion down here in Miami, right? Right. He's got a wrestling room. He's got a wrestling team. Yeah. Like, he's got his jiu-jitsu kids.
They got a judo. They got a judo program too. Yeah.
I mean, the kids now are training everything. And even just, you know,
but I heard
people that are in their teens and their early 20s, they've been doing everything.
That's the new breed, but like, she is the new breed too. Yeah. And so is everybody who's in the top 10 of any MMA division right now, because everybody's well-rounded. And speaking on that, like that also, when you're at a mega gym like that, it makes you a better training partner for whoever's in camp. It's like, oh, you're fighting Angela Hill. Okay, let me be very long for you, because you have to mimic for the person who's fighting or whatnot. And we
all about this, you know, at the gym. Like, we have a system they call the coach in charge. That's the coach does the most of the things. He builds your camp. He does this. He study your opponent with your managing, like, and etc. And he find the bodies. He set up the train. He does everything. All I do is step in and get my ass beat and working things that I have to get. Yeah, because you know what I mean? It's like, if I'm going to go to the gym, this is like, okay, I'm just going to have a great performance. I'm going to beat everyone, get to a jiu-jitsu range, and I'm good. Punch me. Yeah. Yeah, do things that I need to feel like okay, I need to move my head here. I need to do things, you know what I mean? And it's great, you know, but it's also, like I say, on university, I know I can't step in a wrestling local train that I'm going to get my ass beat. And there's like 5 or 10, 125 girls, and they're just going to smash me. And I'm like, I need to survive here, you know? And that was the reason that I came there, because I needed to get smashed. I was tired of like going gyms and cross training. Like, I feel like not the best in the room, but I mean, like, as far as a female, I was like
Big fish in a
good
little pond.
enough to, yes, you know what I mean? And I hate it. In the end of the day, feels good and the same time feel bad. I'm not doing anything to build my ego anymore. You know what I mean? I am doing the sacrifice to be a round fighter, you know?
You're chasing
So-
greatness
This is
the whole
super
time.
important.
So where do you see yourself? First of all, when's your next fight? Do you have a fight scheduled?
I'm supposed to fight. Okay, so like story of my life, like somebody with my background, it's really hard to matchmake me. As far as local companies that fight companies like Titan, they do try to match me very hard, and I have to go. Most of my fights was out of country in Dominican Republic to fight, and it was easier to matchmake me. This time they couldn't match me. I supposed to fight in November, and they postponed the date. And I supposed to fight on November 9, that's tomorrow. And they couldn't find me a match. They tried to matchmake with the same girl that I fought, and my team didn't accept. I said, I'm down, and I don't respond for me anymore because they offered me the belt title so I could go to LFA or Invicta and fight for them. But either those other two companies that offer me like short 2 weeks notice fight, and I'm not ready to do this, you know? It's fucked up. Like, I'm doing so much sacrifice to fight, and like Victor contacted me 2 weeks to fight a jiu-jitsu girl. That's something that I'm not looking right now. I want to fight a striker, you know, a boxer, or you know what I mean? I want to feel that I feel that challenge me to be better, something that I'm not.
Are you eventually going to make the transition and try and do like a contender series or something like that?
I actually have opportunity to go to contender right now if I want, but I don't want to get to a big company and just to get a contract. I want to go to stay, you know?
Yeah.
And I rather like wait a little bit and just turn down some opportunity and make sure I'm ready for. However, there's many aspects to getting a contender or to get a contract with the UFC, you know?
Yeah.
I could get a contract with UFC and just be settled and just make whatever. Or I could make my way to UFC and just stay, you know? I know that if I fight UFC in a contract, none of my fights will be an easy fight. And I want to
they'll
be
throw you
ready
to the
for.
wolves for sure at 115.
Of course, even in a contender, they will get me the best match.
They would probably give you, to be honest, they would probably give you a gatekeeper fight. A girl that's on her way down, but is still very high level.
Yeah, still experience.
So they'll give you a gatekeeper fight. That's throwing you to the wolves for sure. And then you're going to have to. So
and I don't mind. I'm ready for anything, you know, like like I said, I love a good challenge. I know that anytime I can be matchmaker with a good striker that have good space management, that have a really good like grappling defense, take down defense, and that's what a good grappler will do. And I'm aware of this, and I need to be better at things that, you know, that I need to be better at, you know.
I think
and I don't mind this.
I was going to say, I think the best to do at 2022 contender series in terms of the type of preparation that you want and the confidence and the experience that you want when you go in there, I say Bo Nichols is like that right now.
Oh yes, Bo, but
how prepared was he? Extremely prepared. He made everybody look completely untrained. And then his first UFC fight is what, this Saturday, I think. I think he's going to go far, but right out of the gate. And I feel like that's how you want to be. You want to come in, you want to hit the ground running in the UFC. You don't just want to be a journeyman or a yes man, you know, for the company.
Yes, 100%.
Is one UFC in the conversation for?
Yeah, I actually got offered one UFC by Leo Vieira. Thank you, Leo, for thinking about me. I'm very grateful. And the difference from one championship to UFC that I can get a contract in one championship, just grappling. You know, I can do what I'm best at and fight MMA if I want to. But right now, like, it would be possible accept one on UFC because it's something that's pleasurable for me towards in the time frame that I want to be in UFC, you know. And there is other possibilities too. We're not talking about PFL. We're not talking about Bellator, you know, like PFL is open in 2023, $125 to $1 million. and then maybe in a few years they'll get 115, you know. So I believe there's a lot of opportunity to be a millionaire, and I'm on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm on top of them.
$1 million check isn't so bad after a season of fighting, right?
No. Besides the tax and everything, I don't really care.
So-
Yeah.
I just want to make the.
Can we go back to something you said before too? You said business. You were talking about business and your business.
Yeah.
What business,
I'm
other than
business.
training, what business are you in? What are you doing?
So when I moved from the city that I was raised towards Rio de Janeiro, I was already having a sales background, and I got trained from my 17 towards my entire life competing jiu-jitsu, because there is no other way to make money to compete, you know, or I be a lawyer full-time and just stay overnight studying and just towards the goal that I have in law school, or I let it go everything and have a regular sell work to actually pay for my tournaments. Because when you started as a blue belt back in the day, you didn't have as much as sponsorship, you know, I had to beg for my first sponsorship, send emails, create opportunities, and my sales background helped me to be marketable, to be my brand, and to develop other things in the United States. And when I came here, was a new culture, new language, and I had a really hard time understanding things. And I'm like, how can I be better? And I'm like, I need to do a course here. What could I do that could help me to understand people, make friends, and everything? So I did a week of Dale Carnegie, and in this course, they were sorting who needs they were rifle a 1-year course for somebody that most needs the course, who deserve better. And this group of 10 or 12 people, they choose me, and I did the year of Dale Carnegie and just changed my life, you know, change the way I think, change the way I recognize and I read people, and just make me in many aspects, not just towards business, how to work with people better, you know what I mean? How to express yourself better, how to talk about your mistakes first, then judge somebody, or you know what I mean? And Dale Carnegie just make me go more towards brain activity, global neurons, other things that you have to understand, and why we the way we got trigger and human behaviors. And I went just deep in psychology, and I was like, whoa, I really know who I am now. I didn't know until many years ago. And I'm like, whoa, I am 100% sure who I am, and I understand people's behavior better than anyone else. Read body language. It's just it makes me just be a very nerdy person, you know?
Okay.
So she read How to Win Friends and Influence People.
100%. I have the book in my house, and I just got into a lot of audio books, and every day I wake up, I'm listening to a podcast, and Anthony Robbins, all those guys, and I'm very into, but I'm really into old school psychology, the 1950s, old study of human behaviors, a group of people from a childhood, from 5 years old to 90 years old. You know, I'm really into this right now. I'm really into human behaviors and why do you get triggered? I'm when people start to talk about those things with me, I got goosebumps. I was tell me more. I like to hear that.
So how does that translate to business for you? What again, you said something about business. What are you doing to make money outside of fighting?
I mean, as far as I said, branding, it's about marketing myself, understanding understand what I really want. Because if you don't know what you really want, you can't be very successful, you know? Pretty much I told myself from 2 years now, and I'm I don't want to rely on people so much anymore. I want to rely on me. Of course, everything you do in life, you need to rely on people to be successful. But as far as making my own income, and as far as what I was doing before, I was trying to make somebody else's business successful instead to be focused on my own business, you know? And I'm 32 years old now. I have to think of like, okay, I maybe have 10 years more of like MMA career and maybe 12 the most, and what I'm gonna do next, you know. I am not trying to focus on two things, but I'm trying to keep my options for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that if I one day stop fighting MMA for some reason, I still have a bright career in jiu-jitsu because I'm really good. Then I would be as competitive as I stop, you know.
Would you ever open a gym? Is that something that you see in?
It is
as you get
one
older?
option.
Yeah.
As one option, I help too many people to build their gym. I used to call me pro grapplers used to call me jiu-jitsu gypsy, but it was not even really jiu-jitsu gypsy. It was like I had too many friends open new gyms, and I was already good, the kind of human who's resource based on the training that I had in the cells. And I'm very organized, the ATD, like tanks, you know, like my house is clean, like nice lighting, like everything's organized, my sporting clothes and everything, like in every aspect. And they always took me to their gym to help, like kind of like give a different color and help in different aspects that they couldn't do it. And I used to call me like jiu-jitsu babysitter academy, jiu-jitsu, what's it called?
Your jiu-jitsu rescue is what it is. It sounds like
jiu-jitsu gym babysitter. Yeah, jiu-jitsu gym babysitter.
Milton,
you know, like
You've
Milton talks
gone
about
in,
this
you've
all the
gone
time.
in and helped. You've said, I've heard you talk about it. You've gone in and you've helped them make their gyms better.
Yeah,
exactly. Right? Like, and that was one of the reasons that I came to Florida to like help somebody, a rich man, to open a jiu-jitsu gym, just to make successful, you know?
Yeah. You say it all the time. Just because they're good at jiu-jitsu doesn't mean they're good at business.
Yeah, that's hard.
Exactly. That's very hard to find.
It's usually you get one or the other. You get a great businessman and all you're doing is learning side control and Kimuras. And or you get a guy that is a John Danaher level guy, but doesn't even have
my first gym, my
Wi-Fi
coach
password.
was amazing. I was probably in my 230s. He was 265, shorter than me. So I learned that whole, like, you know, kind of, you know, take down, stay on top, you know.
Pressure, smash pass.
So it was like a perfect fit for me. I own a marketing company. I've been in marketing for about 16 years, and he was horrible at marketing. I mean, I built a website and we never launched it because he wouldn't give me your bio information. Check this. I need the merchant account for the T-shirt. Like,
because
I just wouldn't get anything.
Procrastinate so much.
He was great. I learned so much. I was helping coach right away.
That's not his fault.
I was already in my, I was in my 40s when I started, so I was a grown man. I had a different mindset, and he was horrible at marketing. The gym closed after 2 years. We had no marketing. You have to be open during the day. You have to, it's like opening at 5:30. You're not going to develop a kids program. You have to have the aftercare. It just was at a time where things were changing, and you had Fight Sports right around the corner with Felipe, killing it, and again
marketing.
Picking up the kids from the schools, and I mean it was just like you're not going to be able to. That's
the
compete.
other Milton saying, get the mom in the gym. And the rest of the family will follow.
Yeah, if you can get, you target the mom. You target like the mom that has the kid. Get them in, right? Bullying ads and things like. Get them in the gym, and then like I know in our gym, it's like it's rare that a parent doesn't start training.
Doesn't stay.
One of them. It's the kid gets on the mat, and then the parents are in the adults class eventually. One, if not both. How many families do we have? Like. Ray and his wife.
Even my gym.
There's a whole bunch of people
families
that are the kids started, and now mom and dad are training. And I mentioned I know you competed against her. I look back at I saw your record. You competed against my coach, one of my Sophia.
Yeah. I love her.
Yeah, she's they're incredible. I love both of them, and they have two different styles, so it's great when sometimes I'm always learning from Felipe, and she had we separate the girls sometimes. Like sometimes she just coaches the girls, so when they put us together when like Felipe's away, everybody's always excited because her jiu-jitsu is so different. So it's really fun to learn from her.
Spider guard.
But I think that's one of the reasons why we get so many parents, especially the women, because you have that husband-wife pair. And she'll be after the women. Come on, try it. Get it, do it on a gi. Here's a gi. Don't worry, come on. And she gets them, and they get addicted, and I
think
cool.
that's very essential. Like in a business, even in a jiu-jitsu gym that's just jiu-jitsu, okay, having a partner, okay, or you have a partner, blind partner, doesn't matter. As far as you see a man running a gym, you know that's going to be successful, but always behind a man there's a woman. Can be just a woman that stay on the front desk is good, whatever she do as far as ADM or marketing or whatever. Or if she's also do all of this, if she understand business and she does teach it as well.
Yeah.
We're aware that women learn different than men's. Of course, they're a good coach in general. He will know how to read each student. Each person learn differently. Okay. And as far as you put a bunch of women together, if you don't have a close in connection with them, you're not going to be able to do perfectly well, and you need to break the ice and have this connection. And Sophia is amazing. I didn't met her husband, and they're just amazing together. I always when I see her, I was like, "Oh, your booty's so huge!" And I always try to break the ice because I hate the competitive environment. I don't compete against people to prove that I'm the best. I just want to have a great performance, and she's definitely somebody challenge to compete against. I love her butterfly guard. I don't think I ever compete. If I can be wrong, go on the gi with her. If I did, I just forgot. I'm sorry. But I'm sure their gym's very successful. And as you said, as a family, I'm a taker. If I have a gym, everyone that step in the door, for me, it's a potential client. You can make money through them. However, if it's an introductory class, if it's a self-defense class, it's a kickboxing class, it's anything, or even fitness, for me, it's very important to take advantage of everyone that step in the door. You know what I mean?
It's funny because, in our school, we've talked about this a lot on the podcast. Sometimes we have more women training in the evening in the adults class than men.
I've been there.
And it wasn't always like that, but because they started doing fitness classes for women, just women. We actually we have a pretty big facility compared to the average jiu-jitsu only gym. And
they're only 10 minutes apart, by the way.
They turned the office areas into a whole nother room, pretty big, and sometimes the women just train on that side. So sometimes it's funny because we'll do the warm-ups and we'll be done, the guys will be done, and you can hear them still warming up for another 10 minutes. Her classes are hard. She's tougher. When she comes over,
that's what I'm talking about.
The only thing that I don't like when she comes and she runs the entire class for men and women is that the warm-ups are twice as long and twice as hard.
Yeah, but you're a brown belt. You just stand like this.
Now, look, it's not just about the warm-up. It's about the foundation, the warm-up. Women are more perfectionist than men, okay? And I'm not saying that men cannot be perfectionists. I'm just putting it over there. But
generally speaking,
I learned, but I learned if I am the typical person that I skip the warm-ups just because hip skip is annoying, hip skip is belly down, hip skip 1, 2, 3, hip skip, sit down, hip skip, those things make who I am, make my foundation sharper. And every student that say, I want to learn self-defense, I was like, do you know foundations? If you do not know foundations, you cannot move well. I was like, oh, but it's so good at guard. I was like, do you know why somebody have a hard time to pass my guard or doesn't pass my guard? Because of my foundations. And I think people that skip the warm-up, they're lazy.
Yeah,
for the record, I never skipped.
I know. I'm not saying you did.
I was making a joke.
No, I might have to skip.
Even if you hate it. Yeah.
I do have a bad back. And I might have to
Me
skip
too.
something.
Yeah.
But if I do, if there's something that I know is going to mess up my back, I don't stop.
You won't do it.
I do jumping jacks while they're doing that, and then I get in on the other one. I never stop, and I've never been.
You're not 32 and an MMA champion.
I'm going to be 50, and I absolutely, in my mind, I know that even if I coached, unless I was coaching all day, I'm going to always do the warm-ups with the adults. I think that's a sign
very important.
of a really good coach. Again, if you've been coaching all day and you've done warm-ups and you've been
Yeah,
okay, I get it.
It's complex. It can be complex. Like
I like when I see like Sophia jumps in and she'll run like sometimes she's been there all day and she'll run just from the side, or she'll be the first one when we're running around and warming up. I love that. I mean, that shows you something that they're doing it as well.
I just got something out of this. So
what's that?
I literally just got something out of this. This is what I'm going to do from now on.
Tell me.
From what you just said, you're like, the fundamentals is who made me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I do feel like sometimes I do the warm-ups and I do them hard. I even get made fun of sometimes because I jump the highest when I do cherry pickers. And not because I'm the highest jumper, but because nobody else is jumping as hard as they can every single time.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Because it's everyone a different mind state. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what's going
bullshit
through
on shrimps, though.
people day, you know, like you said, like, I have a bad back, you have a bad knee. Sometimes they can feel that's bullshit and looking to the outside, but you don't know what's going on with people. But when I'm not talking about warm up or jumping jacks, push up, core exercise that you should do it always before you start jiu-jitsu, warming up your groins. But I'm talking about fundamentals. Like when people say, "Oh, I hate to do hip escape," I was like, this is your problem. That's why you're getting a freaking guard pass.
That's what I was getting to. I'm gonna take my shrimping more seriously from now. I got that from you right now.
I'm gonna say the thing.
People bullshit on shrimping, bro.
My biggest pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve is somebody who shrimps down the mat as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And I will purposely like go slow and do it right and almost like, go face down like I was taught you're supposed to do. I'm on my shoulders and I'm going slow, and then there's somebody going really fast, like, and I'll stop and I'll hit them with my foot. I'll be like, slow down. You're not, it's not a race. If shrimping is not a race, you're not doing it right.
That's
just
blue belt
you go
shit,
down the
bro. I love it.
It's
not.
I fast as fuck.
But there's the two typical shrimpers. Okay, there's the shrimper that sees in a race that he do not bridge before he shrimp, and that he do not create the space range that he has to get a really guard recover or a counter from that.
And they're not framing.
There's the shrimper that he just want to run the race. And then there you see the shrimper that he's bridging, pumping up, and he's getting out, not with his 2 feet, but 1 foot sideways, and that he's already ready to replace the guard. Makes sense? And from there's a shrimp leg over, then there's shrimp leg sit down, shrimp invert. There's so many
forward
like
shrimp.
foundation.
Forward shrimp.
Oh, like shrimp.
And
it's like
the
bubble
forward
gum.
shrimp.
There's forward shrimp. There's all kinds of shrimping.
And there's the sideways shrimp that not
sideways
everyone
shrimp.
can do.
For the core.
Yeah, the core, and not everyone can do it because
That
they do
hurts.
one leg when you should do both legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but when we're talking about only the basic shrimp, nobody breathes before they shrimp.
Stop bullshitting on
just
shrimping.
shrimp.
I actually make a point, and I gotta people. If anybody in the gym hears this, they're gonna look at me now and go, "Well,
I'm shrimp
I stay on my shoulder. I don't put my back on the ground. I stay on my shoulders as I go. I might come to my side. I might have my side on.
You have to.
But when I transition, I'm never flat on my back. I stay on my shoulders. I learned that early on from
Pinkies
somebody.
out when we shrimp.
Wasn't my coach. I forgot. I learned that from somebody, and I've always done that. And again, I get annoyed. Like, I'll be doing that, so I'm going to probably do it slower. And then there's the idiot. Like, we do 2 lines, and then
idiot, bro. They just don't know yet. They don't know
3
yet.
lines. There's 4 lines. People going around me, and I'm like, great. They're gonna learn one day that that's not the right way to do it.
I think it's a stage though, because everybody
it's not
does
the
it.
right way. It's the bad habits that they created and the way they understand.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying that your coach is a bad coach, but sometimes I can explain a technique for 5 minutes. Not everyone gonna get all the details, and you're gonna have to keep building your muscle memory. But like when I teach my class, I start foundations. I explain defensive to offensive, and you can't just teach somebody to choke somebody. You cannot teach them how to defend, how to get out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the shrimp is about understand self-defense. It's the big foundation to a better technique self-defense. If you do not understand shrimp in a certain point, that you have to bridge, that you have to frame, that you have to shield together, and where your feet should place, and where what's the moment that you're gonna come up to your elbow to transition to your palm to shrimp or whatever you're gonna do next. It's really hard to understand self-defense foundation from the bottom. You know what I mean?
Shrimping is the opposite of jujitsu for a split second. It is. You have to. It is. It's the opposite of in jujitsu. Successful jujitsu is zero space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it's the most. It's a defensive move.
The foundation of jujitsu is leaving zero space.
Space is bad.
Space is bad. You know, and when you get this, Hickson, I go to step 1. After step 1, I go to step 2. I don't go back to step 1. You know, it goes like that. You know.
Yeah.
When you shrimp though, is create as much space as humanly possible, and then find your hole and get in there and start building wedges.
Usually you're shrimping to then close. You know.
I know, but maybe that's why people don't get it. It's the opposite of
shrimp scamper.
Let's go back to what we talked about before the cameras were rolling. Cauliflower ear. We were talking about cauliflower ear. Do you have cauliflower ear?
Very lightly. I have more in the left and less in the right, but very lightly.
I just got one.
I never really like fully wrapped my ear because every time I kind of saw like the gi kind of burning off, or like I got a knee or an elbow there like by mistake. I really deep like head pressure, side control there, and I felt my ear. It got in on my always eyes, no matter how much painful it was, and I always like try to squeeze. And I have I don't know if everyone does this. I have like a crazy technique that I got my ear and I smash sideways inside. And I literally do I just grab my ear, literally like this, and I just like squeeze and like turn and do days.
To
and,
get
like,
the liquid out, right? You're trying to get the...
She's working.
You're
keeping it mobile.
Yeah, like just do days all the time, and it feels like burning after.
That's gonna be a gift now, just to let you know.
Yeah, no, literally, like you do things like days that you. And I always was really strong days. Like I'm not having cauliflower ears. I used to watch like a video that's very funny. I just forgot his name, but he's GFT in Fortaleza. There's a really funny video that I'll share with you guys later. That he have like a YouTube channel from people that wanted to have a cauliflower ear. He was literally using his knee and like using the chair in the ear to explode the ear. It's it's funny.
Like for
and
fake?
I'm like, how people to get the cauliflower ear? Like it was a professional cauliflower ear guy.
Are you serious?
And I'm like, I am not joking. I have to find his profile. He's the daddy one of my friends, and I've been there to train a few times, and I was like one of the people that kind of like got into GFT in Rio and like Israel and all the kids that's very talented from there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his daddy. And there's like he was sunglasses on YouTube and like literally beating the shit out of the guy to like fuck his ear, like literally for the ear.
Wow.
I have very big ears. I've always had big ears, especially if I lose weight. My ears look tremendous.
Yeah.
My friends used to make fun of me. People called me Dumbo. My daughter has my ears.
Dumbo.
But because I'm big and I'm heavy now, like
kids don't know what Dumbo is anymore.
I have a friend that used to say when he would drive behind me in the car at night and his lights would be on, that he could see my ears, like the lights.
That's
of his
awesome.
ears. That's how big my ears are.
You had good friends.
I've always dreaded. I'm like, oh, it's going to happen eventually. I've never had cauliflower ear. We talked about this too before. People will be like, oh, you train jiu-jitsu, how come you don't have cauliflower ear? And I'm just like, I don't know. It's never happened. I'm a bigger guy. I'm usually more on top. I don't have a lot of people smashing me in my ear. It just hasn't happened to me that way in the gyms that I've trained in.
Did you hear Steve-O?
I don't feel like I ever got it.
Did you hear Steve-O talk about this?
No.
So Steve-O tried to get cauliflower ear.
And
Francis Ngannou, John Jones, I'm sorry. John Jones tried to give him cauliflower ear. A whole bunch of MMA fighters. Like, he went gym to gym. He said John Jones put the championship belt on him and was just punching him. And he just doesn't get cauliflower ear.
It sounds like what she was just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
With the guy trying to give people.
But what I'm also saying is I think maybe some people get it and some people don't.
I've gotten a little bit inside, not on the outside.
That's what I have.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's what I have.
I get a little pain in there. I don't know why that only ear in that spot.
Yeah.
Like right where that like curve comes in, like in here a little bit. but never. I mean, look at this thing.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like
I got-
ready for cauliflower
I
ear.
got big ears.
Every
bro.
once in a while, though, like I'll be in a position where like somebody was like rubbing against it. I'm just like, oh my god, that's gonna hurt
That's
tomorrow.
it.
And
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten it. That hasn't happened.
We're the lucky ones.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, you're lucky because most of people when they see me and they say, "Are you a bodybuilding? Do you have fitness model or something?" I'm like, "Do I look like a bodybuilder?" It's like, "Yeah, you're very fit. Do you lift a lot? Like, do you do arms a lot?" And I'm like, "No." Sometimes I say, "Yes, I'm a bodybuilder. I'm joking. I'm a fighter." "You a fighter? You're too pretty to be a fighter. Let me see your ear. Let me see your hands." And then after they see my hands, it's like, "Yeah, you're right."
That
And I'm like,
JJD
"Yeah, I'm not
hands,
lying."
though.
That's why too. When I saw you come out with the hair down, oh my god, yeah, you see the
Yeah.
knuckles.
Yeah, they're not big as like before, like
Yeah.
when I do like crazy jiu-jitsu gi grips.
When I saw you with you had the headset on, but you had your hair down and you were kind of going like this, and I thought maybe you were like trying to cover it, like somewhere.
Nah, I don't have
yeah.
none. I can show you guys. Hold on.
We saw it. There's nothing there. That's what happens when you don't get hit.
I don't know. I don't know if you actually fight. I don't know if you're
Not a fighter.
Yeah. I mean, it looks that one. It looks
good.
that ear, your right ear looks a little different
I think that's your
from the other one, but I mean, yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell.
No, it's just a little bit like exactly where you sat, like a little bit inside in between the cartilage, you know. And but I never had an issue with this. I did feel like few times I knew that would be a little bit harder, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have just a gum on my ear now. Fuck this.
Never. I always worried about it. Like, oh god, I know it's gonna happen. I wrestled a little bit in junior high. We had the headgear. I'm like, I don't want to be the only guy wearing the headgear.
Everybody wore headgear.
And then I just didn't. I'm like, oh, I'll just let it happen. And then it never.
You're talking about during practice?
In wrestling?
Yeah.
You had to. They made you wear the headgear in practice.
In my high school, you didn't have to during practice, but you had to during your match.
No, absolutely had to wear it. It was required.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no getting around it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wish I went to your high school.
I do have we had got a couple listener questions.
Nice
I took out one that I liked. We've got something else. We got some questions that we'll ask you at the end of the show here.
I got a question.
But I did have a question from Senin Jiu-Jitsu USPM. That's the Instagram handle. They said, "What is the most effective submission for a woman to use against a man in self-defense?"
It depends because depends where, you know, like if she's on the front of him, if he's behind her, on the side, instead of a double under, instead of one under, one, you know what I mean? Like if it's like in the guard and he's trying to rape her, because there's many type of self-defense. There's street self-defense, beloved ones self-defense, you know what I mean? Like, and there's like bully towards self-defense, and there's all these aspects that it really depends. If he was more specific, it would be easier to answer. But I mean, like, if we were gonna talk about the typical rape, like a woman has to be an actress, you know what I mean? If she really know how to use her guard, she can do many things from there. Of course, the guy can force himself in, just take the clothes and just do the job, you know. But if a guy tried to really like get in this position with me, I would break his arm, choke a shit out of him. And I was like, come here, baby, get into my guard. Yeah, come down on me. I'm like trying the shit out of him, you know what I mean? Can be stronger if he doesn't, you know, understand. I'm just gonna push him, pull, kick the chest, and boom, fit in the nose, you know what I mean? Like, and break the jawline. And if I get on top, he's fucked, you know. So it really depends.
So the best move is to train. The best one move you could do is go out there and learn how to defend yourself.
Train tonight. I know, like, and like in a situation where you're getting attacked.
I like that answer.
Number one, run if you can. Number two, scream as loud as you can. Draw attention to yourself. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of an open-ended question, right? It really depends on how you're being attacked.
It really depends on the exactly because. But what you come towards me, because I'm specialized on this, like, I mean, like, depends how he gonna attack me, you know? Yeah. But yeah, like, the first thing that we teach in self-defense is do not let somebody step on your boundaries, you know? Like, you have this frame space here, and if somebody's talking to you and they pass this line here, of your hand, they're already stepping on your boundaries. And that's how you have to be good at reading body language. That's what I always tell my students. And then you go from there, how they will attack you and how it's going to be the situation, you know? But for sure, the first thing it's like a language science, then language and movement science. Then you're going to have a great footworking because you're going to go backward, forward, sideways, circle, and just get the fuck out.
Yep.
If you're against the wall, it's totally different. You know what I mean? If you are like in the body or in the guard, it's also totally different. Depends where you're at. They're side control, they're on your back, you know what I mean? Or your guard. So there's many ways to like do a self-defense situation.
And the best self-defense, make sure you train.
Yeah.
Train and be
make
in those
sure
positions.
you prepare.
Yeah.
Be in those positions, be in those uncomfortable positions, and your body is the weapon. Train your body.
It also
train for those.
It'll train your mind too to recognize danger as well. Like psychology is very important. You could see a threat coming before there's anything threatening ever happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and anyone who trains, I think that I think a lot of times, like you walk differently, you carry yourself differently.
100%.
You know, I've always said it's the quiet confidence
soft
that goes along with training. You can walk into a room and never feel uncomfortable, or you could walk into a room and look like you're scared and look like you're uncomfortable. I think self-defense, I think jiu-jitsu, any martial art, I think you walk a little taller. Your chest is out.
100%.
You're more
100%.
comfortable. And I think that, you know, again, predators, you know, they prey on the weakest, right? And they're going to, and
soft targets.
You know, you're going to, training and having confidence in yourself is the best self-defense.
Yeah.
So,
do you think
100%? And if you're good at body language, that's everything you need. You will know somebody's intention right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You will and from there you better be prepared. You know,
an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask one question real quick though?
Go ahead.
Do you think the world would be a better place if everybody knew how to fight or defend themselves?
I mean, defend themselves for sure. Like, you don't necessarily have to learn how to fight to defend yourself, you know, because that's what I ask my students. Like, if I get a brand new person and that I want to do self-defense, I was like, there's many ways to introduce you to self-defense, but I need to know you better to understand which type of self-defense you need, you know what I mean? But at least to get out of situation without using any like drastical movements,
escalating.
You need to learn.
Yeah.
Escalating. Like, I always ask them like this. I was like, do you want to able to defend yourself and just get out of situations? Or do you want to able to defend yourself and do damage? That's why I always ask them, do you want to do damage? This is something that's going to be way like long-term thing. And if you want to only defend yourself, it's much easier. And you know what I mean? There's many ways of self-defense, and the verbal one's the first one that we spoke of. You know what I mean?
I know that there's a viral video from, I don't quote him much. I don't really know a lot about him, to be honest. Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about everybody should, not everybody, you should learn how to fight.
Everybody should be a savage.
Right? And then, but those people
that be dangerous.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
No, but it's not that video.
Oh,
okay. I know what you're talking about. It's probably the same conversation, but he's talking about people that learn to train. You know, people think that, oh, they're going to, like, if you train a bully how to fight, you kind of wind up training the bully out of him. I'm not saying that's not what he says, but learn how to fight, but you're also learning how to control that aggression, right? So somebody who's aggressive and doesn't know how to fight is usually a bully, right? They're looking for the confrontation.
And they're picking
as
easy
targets. As soon as you learn how to fight, you go, oh, number one, I don't know what this other person knows. I may get into a situation where I'm looking at you, you're 5'1", and I act aggressively with you, and you knock me on my ass and choke me out.
Try to get cute.
Right? Like, knowing how to train also trains you to control your aggression. Again, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that specific
100%.
viral video is, it's really smart to learn how to fight. Like, I think people are always scared for a bully. We have that situation in our gym. We had two boys in our school. One trained with us, and he got into a fight with a bully at school. He took him down, parents were called, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward about 6 months, the bully was training at our gym. They are best friends now. Not friends. I asked Mauricio the other day because I tell him, I always talk about that story. He goes, no, they're not friends. They're best friends.
Best friends.
They are best friends now. The bully and the bullied, who protected himself before this other kid really knew how to fight. And now I couldn't imagine those boys going out and looking for a fight.
He showed him the truth.
Yeah, I can never. I
But
can't
why?
imagine any of the kids in our school. They're so confident on that mat, and then they're so playful when they're away, and they're just great kids.
Yeah.
And none of those kids, I don't hear
A lot
those
of
kids are
jiu-jitsu
never getting
dudes-
into trouble.
A lot of jiu-jitsu dudes are like that, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it calms you down. I mean, it's number one, you're getting out any aggression that you might have, but you're also learning. Number one, I don't want to hurt somebody. Number two, I don't know what that other person knows, and I could be the one getting hurt, right?
Is there anything cooler than a 40-year-old 3-stripe brown belt? It's a cool dude.
All right, we're gonna move on. Let's move into Bo. What are we gonna do? Where are we going?
The drill down.
The drill down. We call this
right.
segment the drill down. These are questions that we ask just about every guest. There's a variation of these, so they'll make sense when we start to ask them. You can elaborate on the answers. Feel free. So, gi preference. Your gi or no gi?
I can't decide.
No preference.
No preference because gi made me who I am, and I'm in love with jiu-jitsu, so I can't tell you.
I like that answer. We've gotten a
both.
similar answer before, so we get it.
Yeah.
So, takedown or pull guard?
I have a really high HQ, so I was gonna say depends because if somebody that's gonna try to take me down and I know they have excellent wrestling, I can't stop them. I was just gonna fucking pull guard. You know what I mean?
So next question is music during rolling, yes or no?
Yes.
What's your go-to? What's your favorite?
Where you at right now?
What's your favorite to train with?
Depends. I have a really mix a playlist, and I really like to start with a reggae laid back because the warm-ups, but going through down there, it's like deep house, like trance, or like kind of poppy, or
Deep
like
house. I like that.
deep house. Yeah, I like deep house a lot.
How about something called
Now,
minimal?
wait,
How
look,
about something called
she
minimal?
said reggae. It's funny because now when I post, you could post on Instagram and post a picture and put the music down, right? I put it on the question post that I tagged you in, and now I remember what the guest said, and I'm using that music.
Yeah.
On the postings.
Get the
now.
guest to like it.
So I'll put reggae on one and I'll put deep house on another.
If she likes deep house, how about, do you like minimal tech?
I do. I like electronic music in general. I'm really love like deep techno, house music. Like I'm really about music. I always get a new playlist, and I'm always looking for new music.
Yeah.
And I speak 3 languages, so I'm always trying to learn something new. And I even listen for French, Arabic, Hebrew music. I'm really very mix it,
So obviously Portuguese, English, what other language?
Spanish.
I will say there's I was going to say
Go
real
ahead.
quick, there's a similarity I've noticed between jiu-jitsu people and military people. They have the most eclectic sound. They don't really ever have a favorite music because you're always with so many other people, so you get exposure.
I'm listening to everything. I listen
think
to
that's
country.
a byproduct
I
of
was listening to
jiu-jitsu,
hip hop
man.
on the way down. I just I put it on shuffle.
It's
put my phone on shuffle and listen to anything,
But
I like to
the
say-
military and the fighting community, it's with the music, it's that's the meme where it's the arms, it's army guy, jiu-jitsu guy, and then the hand is music.
Yeah, I like to say that I like to blending and in situation. I like to say that I can be a tomboy, a little girl, or you know what I mean, or a really a little man. So the way I like to blend in, it's the same way I like to blend in with my music, and people have different tastes, and I like to be open-minded about people's tastes. I like to hear people's playlists and oh, I like this music, I'm gonna add to my playlist, you know what I mean? Like, I like this, I think in life in general about everything, you need to be open-minded. If you're a closed mind, you're not going to able to progress, evolve in general.
Get a bigger sample size.
So you said before, you obviously you watch UFC, you train MMA, but do you study tape? Are you watching videos like BJJ videos, MMA videos online?
Yeah.
Are you studying? Do you ever do instructionals?
Yeah, I'm always
like
watching.
Yeah.
I did 2 different instructionals. I did got invited, but I procrastinated with a lot of things. As far as collaborations and opportunities stuff, that's really hard to know that what's real, what's just bullshit, But I did 2 jiu-jitsu, what's called again? I forgot the word.
Instructionals?
Instructional. Yeah, I always forget this word. I did 2 jiu-jitsu instructional. One was very high quality. That was the BJJ club, I think, if I'm not wrong, or the club BJJ.
Oh, club BJJ, yeah.
Yeah, club BJJ, high quality, very nice. And right away, I did BJJ Fanatics 1 in the frame of other, but I got invited to do BJJ videos, X videos, or something like this.
There's a new X, X videos. X Jiu-Jitsu or something. Jiu-Jitsu X. Jiu-Jitsu X.
Jiu-Jitsu X, yeah. They're from California, where I used to live before I come to Florida. I did procrastinating, just going towards, because I never really fell into so much. I didn't go through.
They ask you to come up with the idea and the curriculum. They want you to say you're gonna submit what you're gonna shoot, right?
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's just they're gonna be in Florida, and I have to manage to be with them, opportunity, they'll pay money, but I got to fix so many things to go actually do a jiu-jitsu,
Gotcha.
think like this. And does it not? So I know I'm procrastinating, so I just dump a bunch of opportunities. But also I just didn't focus a lot in me, and I barely have time to post myself
it's a trade-off.
how I used to. It's really hard, I wake up in the morning and I'm just back at 6 o'clock and I'm so tired. I all want to eat, smoke some weed, sleep.
Yeah. Do laundry. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
You'd get along with Bo.
That's the Russian proverb. If you chase more than one rabbit, you catch none.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm I know I have a list of procrastination that I am doing, and I'm aware of them, and I do feel comfortable with them. And but I know yourself. Why. Now
you're focused. You're focused on the things.
I'm very focused. Yeah, very focused. I know that I'll have time to do anything I want. And next year, my goal is to start competing more jiu-jitsu. Because in 2 years I'll be in a different stage in MMA that I want to be, and I'm definitely know that's going to be different.
Yeah, people who have a high tolerance for delayed gratification usually are more successful.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been thinking more. Yeah. Exactly.
If you want to boil it down.
I got so patient. My friends look at me how can you be so patient? My friend, patience is a virtue. Not everyone has,
You said it before, it was a lot of people, you said you were offered to be on the Contender Series, for example.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would jump at that and then potentially fail because they're not really ready. It's, again, I do say it a lot. I'm very patient. The days of me trying to get rich overnight are gone. I'm patient.
Mm-hmm.
Get rich slow, baby.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
4 years of doing this. It took 2 years before we really started making money. We launched in COVID, right? I mean, that was one thing. The marketing company, the things that I do. There's a million things that I'd want to do, but then I would lose focus.
We're not fast shrimpers over here.
Yeah.
We're not shrimping across the
shrimp is slow.
The
shrimp is slow.
Yeah. One thing I did learn was to prioritize what I have to do. And I know you can focus on many things at the same time, but you won't be successful if you do many things at the same time. If you do not learn how to prioritize and be patient towards your goal, you won't able to be successful. And nothing come in the day from the night. I read that example, Abraham Lincoln, like he failed 99 times before he be president of the United States, and he actually became the president of the United States, and he was a high level, like clinical proof HDHD guy, and if you think of, like, a lot of people see those things as a clinical condition when he's a fucking smart guy that he already died, not between us anymore. Like what makes the other people different, So there's a lot of things that people learn through their journey. It's patience, one of them. But I did learn this a lot, and I still not patience for some things, but learning with different people's personality and learn me to make me be more patient and to prioritize towards business and prioritize towards my personal life and my professional life,
Yep.
So let me ask you this next question that we're talking about, kind of focus and
the grind.
What is your ultimate goal in the world of jiu-jitsu, or let's call it MMA? What is your ultimate goal?
I mean, like, before you asked me if I want to open a gym, I didn't answer this question because I jumped to another things and we're like excited and we really forgot. I would love to, but it would be in the right moment of my career. I learned through like traveling the world and going helping friends and trying to live other people's dreams that's very hard to fully focus and open a business. I would for sure open a gym with a successful partner and having a really good financial situation. And I would not like to rely on money primarily to open a gym. That's when I would open. But I would not open just a regular gym. I would open a temple, I would offer not just jiu-jitsu class, but therapy, but other things that are very part of.
So elaborate, if you can. You said temple. I know who you're talking about. What's the full? Tell everybody what you mean when you say temple.
I mean, like, most of the time when you go to a jiu-jitsu gym, you spend more than an hour inside of the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you go ahead 15 minutes later, or you are like a Brazilian time, 5 minutes before or in time or late. Most of people, even when you see a gym, like you guys mentioned, that have a family inside the gym, they spend more than 2 hours in the gym.
More than that.
It's more. That's what I say. More than 2 hours in the gym.
Family trains, yeah.
Yes, and like most of the gym that they offer showers and everything else, they're a great place to spend time. They love just being on the mat, talking after, and just show the family environment they could be or not, However, if you do have a place that also offer therapy, massage, that might have a mental coach, or like even is on the front of the beach and have a surf shop attached and a cafe, that would be a multi-gym. Like, I can tell you that's something that's close, but not even 60% what I'm saying. It can be like Miami's Fight Sport. They have like a lunch place and they have strength and conditioning, and they do have the jiu-jitsu that's most looking for there. Yeah. And they have like the crazy Brazilian trainer that everyone
ATT used to have the juice bar.
Yeah, we do, and we used to have the juice bar, but there we have more dorms and etc.
Yeah.
But not every gym has what it takes to be a temple. You
Amenities.
Know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So if one day I would open a gym, I would have to have crazy sponsorships and partners, because I would not just want it to be a gym for jiu-jitsu. Of course, I would have people to manage each area that I'm talking about, because I would not be able to do it myself, and I would have maybe a black belt husband or whatever to open a gym. And that's would be the point that I would be successful towards this, because I would be very competitive. But I'm not open jiu-jitsu to compete against other jiu-jitsu gyms. I'm open to offer quality lifestyle for somebody that want to be there.
You're going to provide the culture, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now the Brazilian BJJ, the jiu-jitsu.
Yes, that's what I meant.
You know what I mean? The surf class, because surf is very related to jiu-jitsu. Equilibrium is like mental set and all those things. You know what I mean?
Sucking down salty water.
Yeah, salty water, jiu-jitsu.
Just like in jiu-jitsu.
I told my wife. I told my
therapy.
We talk about like I would like to have a podcast office a little bit closer to home, and we talk about, oh, could we have mat space? I don't want to run a gym, but I would have some, if I could rent it to somebody, I would like to have access to a gym, but I wouldn't want to be the coach. I couldn't take on another gym. And I've had that conversation with my wife as well. I'm like, if you trained, she doesn't train, if you trained jiu-jitsu, one day you can help me and you could maybe coach and you could run the, but I wouldn't take that. I mean, that's like a retirement program.
A dream. Yeah.
That's like
that's what I said.
When I don't have to depend on it for money,
that
like I'm doing
dream,
it for the love of it. It could pay for itself.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about it. Like I got to make all this money. Like I want to make my money first and then do that as my retirement.
That's what exactly. That's what I said. My business would rely on money primarily. Okay. Of course, for the long term, you want to make money because besides if I was a billion or $3 million person, I would be able to be like Dan Lambert, run the gym without like relying
Shout
on
out
money,
to Dan Lambert.
Yes, I read that he's in one of the 14 richest family in the United States.
Good.
So
Really?
like the guy, he don't need to nobody's money to keep the gym.
He did it for the love of the
open.
game.
I know my
Exactly.
Yeah.
my niece. I don't think my nephew. My niece hung out with like some of his kids. He's got a couple of kids, right?
Yeah. My wife does Pure Bar. Dan Lambert's daughter owns one of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
She's super cool because I've been to a couple of the girls' parties, and it's like, because it's the girls get together, and then like there's that awkward like, because then they bring their boyfriends. It's that thing like, well, how most like you bring your girl somewhere, she brings you somewhere, and then you're like, oh, I get to talk to
plus one.
But there's a whole bunch of plus one dudes.
Gotcha.
And then there's that awkward, like, I don't know this dude. Like, who am I gonna talk to? So I talked to her, and she's so high level in terms of like she's a huge UFC fan.
Okay.
So like, you're like, who you got this weekend? That kind of talk.
All right, we have one last question for you.
Yes.
Before we'll ask this first. Yeah. So one last question. This is a big one, super important. I'm gonna let Miguel ask the question.
Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
I never wash my belts through the. I actually never washed my belts.
There it is.
Wrong answer.
Dirty belt wash.
Never wash my belts.
Answer.
I used to just to put in the sun to dry.
Yeah, but why?
I'm not that I believe on the things that they say. I just didn't want my belt to lose the color. No, just to lose the color.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't. Here's a good follow-up question that I've been thinking. We've been asking this question a lot. So sometimes I try to think about the logic that I get because the input is sometimes different.
It's not like Is it because you like the belt so much that you don't want to replace it with another belt that you bought that wasn't given to you? That's why you don't want it to lose color? Or like, yeah, I don't want it to fade away so bad because when you wash, like, it depends how you wash. If you only put regular soap, like goes in between the like cotton and just like expand the cotton. It's like you wash your cotton shirt and you put it in the dryer.
I'm on my third blue belt. I know.
Yeah.
I wash my belt.
Yeah.
I just buy a new one.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. It's like I don't believe in juju think and this is not gonna change my life. But I definitely would like to have a belt that will keep the color. And like and I know fully like people say, oh, this is disgusting. I was like, bro, you have sanitized shit and just spray that shit and put it in the fucking sun. I don't do it with my belt.
I have two brown belts. One was I carried in my bag. I have two. The one that my coach gave me when I got promoted, but then a sponsor sent me one. Flow and Roll sent me one, and I used that one.
Yeah.
And I use it because it was a little bit longer, and the other one was too tight.
Yeah.
The other one was too tight on me. I was like, gotta.
No, I never washed my belt, not even my white belt. I have all my belts. I did lost some of my black belts towards my traveling. I got stole, whatever. But I also have two belts.
Are there black belt thieves out there?
I still have my white belts.
No. Are there people who steal black belts?
Oh, bro, like when you travel so much, when I was like a jiu-jitsu gypsy, like they call, like I used to have my stuff stolen all the time.
Really?
dirty.
I
Yeah,
had,
because
like,
you never know.
people like left with the wrong belt, like 2 brown belts. Like
I
remember is Oscar who's
Omar?
Omar had left with like my belt or something. I don't know. He
You're
left
both
with some
brown
belt.
now too, yeah.
Yeah, we were at sit with the same belt,
Yeah.
and he grabbed one. But yeah, I don't. I carry 2. I don't. There's not a lot of.
I don't see how this mistake happens.
There's not like a lot of meaning behind. Oh, this coach gave it to me. I think maybe at black belt, I'm gonna want.
I mean, there is
that
some meaning.
one, you know.
There's
Yeah.
some meaning. Like, I mean, like,
You
if
get a
I
Marcelo
got
Garcia black belt.
yeah,
I have all my belts. I have every belt that I've ever worn. I have my white. I had 2 blues because I moved and I actually wanted to have the same color as the gym that I went to when I went to Felipe's.
That makes sense.
And then I have my 2, like I have 1 purple, 2 browns because again I got 2. I kept them all, and I know like I'll put them in a circle or
Yeah,
hang them or
exactly.
put them
Me
in
too.
something, you know.
Me
So-
too. But I never wash my belt because they say, "Oh, you don't wash your belt. Oh, I'm this like hierarchy jiu-jitsu professor. You have to bald and shit." Like, I mean, there is some boundaries that you have to do it, and that's there. But I never wash my belt because the juju thing. I think it's the bullshit thing. I mean, like most of people have different opinions of, you know what I mean? I never washed my belt, and if my belt got washed, my mom put it inside and she didn't know.
Yeah.
Like most of the time.
I'll tell you a quick story. Felipe always said he doesn't wash his belt. His belt like looks gray. It falls apart. He's got one that he wears that's like newer, but he's got his old one. He swore up and down that he doesn't wash his belt, and then we would talk about it in the gym, and I would be like, "That's disgusting," you know, joking around. And Sophia was like, "I threw it in the wash the other day." She washed it. She's like, "I washed it. This is a while ago." She's
Why
like,
are you throwing-
Yeah.
She's like, "It
But
smelled
there's a
so
point.
bad
Yeah.
that he had
There's
to
a
wash
point. Like there's a
Why'd
point.
you throw him under the
that-
bus like that, man?
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
not gonna listen
There's
to
a
this.
point,
It's
of
about her.
course.
You just
If
got
you
her
do
trouble.
those strains, like meows and your belt is like yucky, like bro, you have to wash your belt.
Did you say the Meow Brothers?
I said the meow brothers.
I love their videos. You know they're doing that on purpose, right?
What's
they got
that?
throwing water on the
I know.
mats.
Like when it's really, it looks
Yeah.
like it's just drenched.
Yeah.
You don't think that's real?
Yeah.
I don't think that's real.
It's
I
just
think
because
that's the first roll of the day. They're just throwing water on the mats, and that's how
I
they
don't
clean
think
it.
it's bullshit. I don't think it's bullshit.
Sometimes
I've been
it's
in the
not.
camp with them.
Yeah.
I've been in a camp with them since they were like orange belt and through they were black belt. I even did like an interview and stuff with them. Bro, like there's a real gap.
Yeah.
But now
Oh, I know that.
it's
I'm not denying that.
different. I know now it's different because they become like blogger and like, you know what I mean? Like they probably are creating some things and exaggerating something that for a long time they didn't come out. It's like a virgin that loses her virginity and then become this like icon online, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it can have some fake news just because it's social media.
No, they do it to be funny. They got the guy who's
to be
spraying the
funny.
water, and then they roll in it to just make it like
I
it's
don't
a
know.
joke.
I believe, she said she trained with them. I believe they sweat that much, is what you're saying. That's real.
No, they train that
Yeah,
much.
but that's what I was talking. Like, there's like guys, my roommate. That's
Has she been? It's just like she came out of nowhere. She's been there the whole time.
yeah. She's trying to go under there because I say, "Hey, don't make noise."
Was
Hey,
she
hi,
laying on the
Julia.
couch the whole time?
Fala,
Hello.
Oi, no, she was in her room. Look how cute
what did it say?
Brazilian she
You read
is.
my
Nice guess.
T-shirt. What did it say?
I don't know. I wasn't.
Vem aqui,
looking.
volta aqui. Deixa eu ver.
What was
Deixa eu
on her
ver.
T-shirt?
Deixa eu ver o que tem na tua camisa. Deixa eu ver. Read my T-shirt. That's enough. Vira de frente pra mim. That's enough social interaction
You
for
read
one day.
my T-shirt.
That's
That's
enough
enough
interaction
enough
with Yoli.
interaction for one day.
Yeah, that's it.
Social interaction.
Don't talk to her. Got it.
Does she train?
No, she
No?
does not, but her daughter is very good.
There you
Yeah.
Like a yellow belt, and I'm gonna make her a little beast.
go. Okay.
Good.
All right. So we want to thank you so much for doing this, but we also want to give you an opportunity to shout out any sponsors. Do you want to say hello to anybody or shout out sponsors? This is your time.
Of course, I would like to thank you guys for the opportunity, and it
You're
was
welcome.
very
Of
fun.
course.
I was excited for it. There was a long time that I didn't do a podcast. I don't remember when I did last. I think it was a Brazilian one, maybe like 6 months ago, whatever. Yes, AP, my main sponsor, Albino in Puerto. Thanks, Arvi. Thanks for the long relationship. He's always take my back, and I've been world champion for the day first for him, and I am very thankful. But I would like to take the opportunity to shout out to new sponsors. As you guys know, I am a pro fighter now, and I have a really heavy curriculum, and I am always looking for sponsors as far as collaborations, as far as anything. And if you guys have anything in mind on your podcast, I'm always open to give a look up. I don't know. Every time I get in a camp, it's really hard to like keep a training, like keep paying the bills and etc. And I would love to get sponsored any type, not just towards the camp, but towards the fight or build a long-term relationship with new sponsors. In the moment, I do not have any sponsorship besides AP, and I'm about to close with Zebra again, Zebra Max. But so far, I don't have anything as far as supplementation, CBD, and other things.
We have a couple of those. If you saw my post,
yeah,
I would say after we launch the podcast, I've spoken to my sponsors, and they are all. I don't want to say all of a sudden they're going to get lots of messages, but they know that when we have somebody on, that they usually ask, hey, what do you think? And sometimes they'll send some stuff or they'll reach out. So, feel free to message. You saw the sponsors on the post that we did. They're all open to having conversations with our guests. So I can't say that they all have the ability to do something, but they're open to having a conversation. So feel free. I'll say nice things about you.
Thank you.
And champion mentality for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. And I do love the fact that you have a marketing company, and I think market is all about to be a great athlete, and as much marketing you have, better. And I would like to look forward into days as well.
Awesome. Right. Thank you. Like I said, don't hang up. Thank you so much for doing this. We're going to come take some pictures with you, but thank you so much. We'll launch in a couple of weeks. Obviously we're not live. This will come out not next Monday, like the following week. So usually about 10 days out. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. Thank you very much.
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, @MyNeutralZone. Jiu-Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram @thebjjbox. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram @flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD. Okay.
All right, everybody. What do you think?
That's a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's how they talk.
Future champ. Yeah, right.
So I didn't want to say it during the interview, but like that's how, like when you listen to champions talk,
That's how they talk.
That's their mentality. That she sounded a lot like Valentina Shevchenko, actually. Like
Yeah.
with like the mannerisms also.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. I never
So-
noticed how much the accents were.
Super confident in herself.
Yeah.
Check.
But not arrogant.
Not arrogant.
Well,
Check.
she knows where she's at, man. She knows. What,
She knows where she's at. Check. She's not taking just any opportunity.
Right.
Check.
Humility.
These are also
Humility.
focused.
She's like, I'm not
These-
ready
check.
for that yet.
Yeah,
I'm not ready
check,
for that
check,
level.
check. Those
Yeah.
are all signs of like a champ with like longevity.
High
Like
IQ.
somebody that's gonna
High
like somebody
IQ.
who's gonna be around for long, like not
Well,
just like
She's a jujitsu champ. So
Yeah,
she
yeah.
knows how to be a champion. Like
Yeah.
put that money.
if you've ever done a tournament, like it's not only the tournament, you could probably be better than a lot of the people that you go against, but it's that mental attitude. Are you nervous because you're at a tournament?
Yeah.
Are you in your head because you know you're going against the number 2 seed? We're not talking about like me and you going to a tournament at our age group.
it's
We're talking about
high level
black
young
belt,
guns and,
elite,
yeah.
cream of the crop.
I
Jiu-jitsu.
just have a feeling we definitely haven't seen the last of her, and I think she's gonna.
When I used to play in a band,
It was dope.
and we would play on stage,
Yeah.
and somebody would get stage fright, we would just remind them, we're just practicing, but in front of a lot of people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's hard. It's hard to get
and
over.
it came
I would say
out
I think
great.
the pressure at her level is a bit higher
Yeah.
because like, you know, you miss a note, whatever.
I
but
think a lot of people though say the same thing though. Once you get on the mat, like it goes away because you're concentrating.
I don't think
on
so.
the
I've seen people freeze
Yeah.
even at a low level. I don't even want to brag about a high level.
Yeah.
Of course it's okay to freeze at a high level, but I've seen people freeze at a freaking Naga,
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
you know?
All right. So listen, Talita, thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you guys, or appreciate you. Thank you for putting up with us. A little housekeeping here. Just check out Jiu-Jitsu Dummies on Instagram and Facebook for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. Click the link, the link tree, bring you to our YouTube. Different podcast
If you go to a
apps,
T-Mobile
all that
store, it'll just auto-populate.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yeah, if you see
No big
Jiu-Jitsu
deal.
Dummies on the phone in a T-Mobile store,
store?
you know that I've been there.
Yeah.
Check
Milton
me
was
out.
here.
Check me out at Uncle Milty BJJ on Instagram.
That's right. Check me out at JJD_DJJ69.
Oh,
At BADWERKS, bad work.
Bad works.
very cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening.
Peace.
Peace, love, jujitsu.
I want to start doing
Oos.
1, 2, 3.
What? For, at the end?
For everything.
Now we got to say peace of jujitsu.
Mosquito
Yeah, you
smash.
do.
That's the thing.
Peace. Love. Buy that rash guard.
Jujitsu.
Close. Bye, guys.